Judge Kenneth Pollock. I'm your moderator today. I will go through some of the rules. We're going to be following a strict schedule, that there'll be no exceptions. The questions are timed. If you go over time, you'll start hearing a tone from our stopwatch. If need be, I will stop you if you fail to respond to the tone. This is an interview, not a debate. No redirect questions. Candidates are allowed 1.5 minutes for an introduction. Panelists are given 30 seconds to pose a question. Candidates then have 1 minute to respond. If time allows, audience members will be invited to pose a question, and/or the panel may ask additional questions. This is not a forum to air personal grievances. Complex questions that require lengthy answers won't be disqualified. Panelists will pose their questions to one candidate or all candidates only if that question can be answered in a yes or no manner. We'll begin with the introductions and we'll begin with Mr. Tinio.
Good afternoon, panel members, and I do feel privileged that you're asking me to come and talk to you. I've gone through some of these things, and we're wrapped up an interview. Some of us got endorsements and others didn't, and I think both Mr. Mercer and I understand that because some of us were not endorsed by the party. So I'm Joe Tinio. I've been a resident of Nevada, of Broward County, Nevada since 2002. Currently, I'm chairman and founder of an organization called ECHO. It's the Adult Residential Care Providers in Nevada, basically the small group homes in southern Nevada. We started this about 2007. We had metamorphosized from elder care homeowners organization, ECHO, into the Adult Residential Care Providers of Nevada that it is now. We kept the name because everybody knew what ECHO was. A master's degree in finance, undergraduate degree in economics. I also have a degree in military science. I did not pursue a military career because I knew I was going to go into the United States. I did have a short-term military exercise in the Philippines, which I cannot talk about. I cannot talk about that. Don't ask me about that, please. My father was in the military. He was a veteran of World War II. One reason why we were able to come here because of that was the fact that he did work for the CIA, a certain part of his life. And if you are an honest man, you will not get placed in the Philippine military. He died in a nursing home in Virginia. I used to be a money market trader from 1987 to 2001. When I retired, I was head money market trader of Sumitomo Bank in Sumi, New York. That's it.
And your time is up. Thank you. Mr. Mercer.
Good afternoon. My family's been in Las Vegas since the 50s. I'm the third generation to graduate from high school in Las
Just be
Vegas.
closer to the microphone.
After high school, I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, where I did a combat tour in Iraq in 2003. After my term in the Marines, I went to UNLV, where I graduated with a dual major in finance and economics. I currently work as a financial advisor with Model & Reed. Basically me in a nutshell.
Thank you. We'll begin with the first question from Mr. Blanchard.
Good afternoon, guys. I want to thank you both for coming out and participating in this very important process. I know how daunting it can be, having sat there once myself not too long ago. Let's just bring me my question. This November, the people of the state will be voting on voting for question number 3, which is the education initiative, for better known as the margin tax. The questions for both of you. I want to know if you're for it, against it, and if you're against it, or if it were to fail, would you be sponsoring or voting for a bill or a tax that would bring a sales tax on services to the people of the state?
This question will begin with Mr. Mercer.
Right now, I'm leaning against the margin tax. I think it would potentially kill business and make Nevada not competitive anymore. I don't really want to raise sales tax. If I want to raise any tax at all, it would be more to affect tourists that come here. I don't want to raise any tax taxes on Nevadans. If I have to.
Thank you.
I've been also looking towards raising the excise tax on e-cigarettes.
I am vehemently against this tax. And the reason why I did not go into the NSCA for the endorsement interview, because I know it won't get anywhere anyway. This margins tax is not good for this economy. It's not good for any kind of business. They will take 2% off the top. You may gross $1 million at the very beginning of your business, but at the end, after all expenses are paid, you may lose money. You may be in a negative after that. And so if they're taxing the gross, but by the end of it, even if you were to break even before the tax, you'd now be in the red. It doesn't make sense. There's other ways to make money. As I put down in my flyers, economics is the basic problem of this state. Money is the basic problem. We have to find other ways of doing that. A few more seconds. I saw how much waste is happening out in the school district. They can find ways and means to find extra money of what they're doing right now. They're just wasting it. All they want to do is get money, money, money. I don't agree with that.
Thank you. Ms. Knight, next question.
My question is, are you, okay, so I'll ask Mercer, Ms. Mercer, what is your position on the BLM land issue in the state and the rights to state land? Also, dealing with what's going on with Mr. Bundy, and as your position as an assemblyman, what would you do to either stop or progress whatever side you stand on the issue, and you think it's your job?
I believe the federal government should leave Mr. Bundy alone. It's causing too much chaos, and it's government's, I believe, is overstepping their boundary. As an assemblyman, I would speak with whoever I could to try to get the federal government to back away and leave him alone. It's causing chaos. It's causing to want to rise up against the government.
That was a false alarm. You got more time.
What?
You got more time. That was a false alarm on the beat.
Okay, well, timer went off
Time
prematurely.
prematurely.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Next question.
But more so, but I want to say more so as the federal land issue. I mean, Bundy's part of it, but the federal land and our state land, the rights to our land.
I don't understand what the rights.
Our next question from Mr. Fox.
I'm going to direct this to Mr. Mercer as a veteran. Can you explain to me and tell me what it means, how you would protect it and help enforce it at a local level, the Veterans Disability Protection Act of 2010?
How I would enforce it?
Can you tell me what you know about it and how you would ensure at the local level that the federal laws are enforced and protected for the veterans of Clark County?
Anything I vote for the veterans would be protect veterans. I'm a veteran myself. I'm also on disability. Anything I voted for veterans would be to positively affect the veterans.
Are you familiar with the actual act itself, Veterans Disability Protection Act 2010?
I'm not 100% familiar with that.
Next question comes from Mr. Atkins.
This question is for both gentlemen. The UNLV Stadium project, do you support UNLV getting a stadium?
Mr. Tinio on this one.
Thank you. Why not?
Yes, 100% I do.
Sweet. Mr. Crowley, next question.
Just a question in general, using the BLM situation with the ranch. I won't go political too much on it, but if we had something similar here within your jurisdiction where you had a situation similar to that with the ranchers and a desert tortoise being in a certain area, how would you handle this situation? And I'll give both of you 30 seconds each if that's good. or 1 minute each, whatever you want to do, Judge, I'll let you handle that part.
We'll give them 1 minute each.
Okay, we'll start with, let's go with Tinio first.
I think that the federal government should stay away from us. I mean, if we're used to, I wanted to answer her question actually, and I'm glad you asked that. In the same light, the Fed should just stay away from it. I mean, we're already happy as we are. What did the cattle do? And they've been there for what, 50 years or so? Why are they doing it now? Trying to flex their muscle for what particular purpose? Trying to get more money from these poor ranchers? The desert tortoise, I don't think that the cattle would trample them.
Mercer?
Like I said, I would stand up for Mr. Bundy. His cattle, his family's been there for, they claim, 50 to 100 years. And the desert tortoise is still there, it's still alive, and there's still several places in the state you can move the tortoise if need be.
That's 120 years.
Next question from Mr. Wagner.
My neighbor was just looking up online, and it seems like Senator Reid has a plan to get some extra money through a power plant with that land. Solar. In case you guys didn't know. So here's my question. I've been in politics for a little while, and my question to you is, I'm the only candidate that ever decided not to take lobbyist money or to get rich, not to do any investments. Senator Reid's doing investments, Congresswoman Berkeley, they all became rich while in office. Will you guys give us a pledge that you won't do any outside business while you're working for the people? How about that? Both of you, I mean, that's to both.
Okay, we'll start with Mr. Mercer.
I'm not running for office to make any friends. I have enough friends. I make money from my job and my investments. I'm not running to get rich.
I've owned and operated a care home for people with Alzheimer's, and I do make money because Medicaid pays me. It's not a lot of money out there. And no, I will not make money from this. People are saying they're going to corrupt you. If I wanted to be corrupted as a money market trader, I would have made money on the side. I wouldn't be here right now. Because I wouldn't really care if I was rich, would I? But because I'm not rich, I care about the people of this state. I care about the people. When I become, whatever I become, I take it as a whole. I'm an American citizen, I'm not a Filipino citizen. I'm a Filipino American, but I am an American.
So I'm sorry, you're both saying you will not do any outside investments while you're running?
Yes.
That was my question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Mr. Mercer, if elected, what's the one issue that you want to have effect on, or what issue are you going to bring to the legislature branch to change or modify?
I want to increase the economic situation in Nevada. Get more businesses to move here, bring in more tourism, bring in more dollars. Bringing in more dollars is going to raise what revenue we have for the state, what we can spend. That's the biggest thing I want to do is the economy. I believe if you fix the economy, you're going to raise more money for schools, you're going to raise more money for social programs. Just enticing businesses to move here, enticing tourists to come and spend their money.
Mr. Broadway, next question's yours.
My question is for Mr. Tino. Did I pronounce it right?
It's fine.
Tinio?
Just don't call me ugly.
I apologize. I go to the Philippines a lot. You think I'd have that down. I agree with you on the no new taxes. I really think we have a spending problem, not an income problem. Could you tell me how you intend to fix that directly if elected?
I look at it, this is funny, and you can understand, Tom will understand. I look at it like a military operation. You don't hit it just frontal, you gotta go lateral, you gotta go even fifth column to be able to do anything. Number one, there's a lot of waste. The first thing I want to do is eliminate the waste. As an economist, I know how to figure out, as a macroeconomist, we need to figure out where all of this waste is going to. Go into the school district, go there during lunchtime, look at the waste that's happening. I saw that happen. There's a lot of waste in other areas. Fix that. How? Because of the fact that there's duplication of efforts. One department, like the health department, they've got different bureaus, they do the same thing. Why? That's a waste. Get rid of one bureau, make one bureau use everything else. So much waste. Then what? We have to pay for the pension of these people. I am a Democrat, but sometimes I'm a conservative Democrat. I've got to take a look at these things too. So that's one aspect. Maybe we need to go and figure out how to tax mining. Change the constitution so we can tax them more. We cannot tax the casinos anymore. They're not making any kind of money. We're not going to raise property taxes. Why would we do that? Right? So you've got to figure out first and foremost, where is all the waste? There's a lot of waste. A lot of waste. We had more time to discuss it with you.
Ms. Mosley, the next question comes from you.
So passionate group here.
Sorry.
It's okay, we like that. My question is actually for both of you. The state of Nevada has many agencies that are tasked with keeping victims of domestic violence, children, and foster care systems safe. The problem is that each of these organizations have their own systems for data collecting, and neither of these organizations have access to each other's systems, which often prevents them from providing necessary services. That is a statute issue. What would each of you do as a legislature to enact laws so that these agencies have access to each other's systems?
And we'll start with Mr. Mercer.
That's a new one to me. I didn't know about that. As a legislature, yes, I would want to vote something in to make it mandatory to communicate with each other. If there's no communication, you're not going to fix the problem. Communication is one of the biggest issues that needs to be done between agencies and the government.
I currently attend the Southern Nevada Healthcare Forum, where we discuss all of these things. And one of the biggest problems right now is mental health. Because I'm a group homeowner, we deal with mental health issues. One of the things that was suggested was a central repository of data. Because, like you said, that's what happens. The problem that they need to fix right now and determine is whether it's against HIPAA laws, because HIPAA is federal. However, if we can see a way that we can actually share this information without violating HIPAA laws, by all means do it. Because like I just said before in his question, Mr. Proto's question, there's too many different departments are doing the same thing. If they share the information, you probably get rid of one or two or three of them. You just have one agency do it. Let me rephrase that a second. Sometimes when agencies come to my facility, for example, they come in, take a look at the same information that this other agency did. And it is stupid for them not to share the information that's already there. Instead of staying in my facility for 20 minutes, they're there for 2-3 hours to get the same figures. They can eliminate that.
Kelly, the next question is yours.
I'd like to know how each of you personally feel about the use of medicinal marijuana and how you, or why you feel that way.
This question starts with Mr. Tinio.
I never really thought about it. I'm not really awfully concerned about it. I mean, somebody suggested one day on the radio, I heard it, let the disbursement be taken care of by pharmacies. I think I agree with that, and have somebody else do it. As long as it's regulated, it's fine. And when it comes up to me, that's why I'll probably decide. But right now, I don't really care.
Mr. Mercer.
I'm for it. It's already voted in the law that you could use medicinal marijuana. There's no way to get it right now unless you grow it yourself. And most people aren't going to grow it themselves. They're buying it illegally off the street, which isn't being taxed, and the money's given to criminals. So, yes, I'm for dispensaries.
Mr. Jonas, your turn.
Okay, there's questions for Mr. Tinio. So, you talk a lot and very passionately about waste in government, and we need to eliminate the waste. How specifically are you going to do that when essentially when you talk about eliminating departments, you are eliminating jobs? How are you going to convince people in the legislature to go ahead and make these guys jobless, so to speak?
As a freshman assemblyman, I am very much aware that there's nothing much that I can really do except probably just talk to them, make them understand, maybe from a different perspective because they've been there. There's really not much that I can do, but I can probably talk to them about what I think they should be able to do and hopefully convince them about it. Eliminating departments, eliminating jobs, it's hard to say this. In my opinion, as a conservative Democrat, it's not the job of government to create jobs.
Mr. Hughes. Your question.
Thank you, Judge. I'm the gun guy, so guess what this is going to be about. As most of you know, we have a sheriff's election coming up. Most of the sheriffs have said that they are going to not follow the law for the blue card. My question to you is, because Nevada Revised Statute 244.364 says that any county with over 700,000 people, we have to register our guns. How are you as assemblyman? Now I know, sir, that you just said as a freshman you don't have much to do, but if you stay in longer, how are you going to handle the blue card issue? Because I personally think that it's a waste and a drain of money on this state.
Who are we? For both of them? Both. We'll start with Mr. Mercer on this one.
I am a gun owner. I have concealed firearms permit. I own a lot of firearms in the Marine Corps. My job is to fix weapons. But I believe that they should be registered. You should register your firearm. And I have no problem with firearm registration.
Basic reason they brought up the registration was they said to keep it away from the mentally ill. Hey, I'm sane right now. I registered all my firearms. There is no way that you're going to figure out that tomorrow I'm going to be insane and start shooting people out there. So do I agree with gun registration? For what particular purpose? So that they can figure out later on that you own a gun and they're going to confiscate that? We own a lot of guns back in the 40s. My father had his 45 revolver. I used to keep that with me a lot of times. So I think about it when it gets there, but right now, means nothing to me.
Judge, follow up.
Certainly, Mr. Pierce.
Just to let you know that the handgun registration in Clark County was here because of the mob when they were here. They tried to control the guns on the strip.
So that's why they wanted them to be registered?
Yes.
So they could find out what guns?
Okay. Doesn't sound like there was a question.
It's a fun fact.
I guess we'll open the floor. Does anyone from the audience wish to ask any questions? Seeing nobody. So we'll have a further question from Mr. Blanchard.
This is for Mr. Tinio. You have a lot to do with caring for the elderly and everything else. And since it became a state issue with Obamacare and the health exchange and everything else, how has that affected the elderly care in Nevada?
Actually, for people within my business, it's actually better because now more people will be eligible, more seniors will be eligible for Medicaid. And a lot of the seniors that were here, one of them was a client of ours. She was so proud about the fact that she had worked all her life and that she deserved what Social Security gave her, $440. I cannot take somebody with $440. But because of SSI, it went up to $1,000. Because of Medicaid, I got an extra $1,800, $2,800. At $2,400, I can take them in. And that's our break even basically. And so it helped. However, people in my church who are still okay in their late 70s, they lost a lot of benefits because of Obamacare. So there, at both ambivalent. It's providing other seniors and other seniors no.
Mr. Broadway, you indicated you'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you guys about campus carry. Right now, on the campuses where we have the no gun laws, I call them victim creation zones. What is your status on campus carry? Both of you?
We'll start with Mr. Tinio on this one.
I think that for your protection, you should be carrying a gun wherever you might be. After all, they allow that here in Nevada. However, like I mentioned earlier, how do we know that the person carrying it is not being insane and will start shooting people? I guess that if he and I carried it.
I forgot to add one thing. Campus carry with the proper certificates, follow-ups, concealed carry, training, etc. Not just everybody. I'm talking about the certified people.
Right, so it still doesn't change the fact that I might be certified and might start shooting people, but I guess if you carried and I carried and I went berserk, then you could probably shoot me after my first round. That's fine. So I have no problem with that. I supported Michelle Fiore when she came out with it.
So you are for or
Hold on,
against?
Four.
That's Mr. Mercer.
Four.
I'm for it. If you have a CCW and you've been trained, I believe you should be able to carry anywhere. If a criminal comes on there and they're going to shoot people, there should be people trained with firearms that can protect the rest of the people on campus. So yes, I support it.
Mr. Redner, I know you indicated you had a further question.
This is back to the blue card. Metropolitan Police here in Clark County don't let every gun shop hand out blue cards. So the law is ineffective because you're required to have a blue card. So our sheriff or whoever is in the firearms administration at that time gets to pick what gun shops get to hand out blue cards. That's why we think it's a good idea to get rid of the blue cards or make it more so that everyone can get one without all the red tape that they have to go through. So my question is, if they don't change the rule the way it is, do you think they should get rid of the blue cards or should they keep them?
Who's that
I
question
don't,
directed
to both. I need to know on both.
Mr. Mercer, what do you think?
If they're going to keep it the way it is and it's half here and half not, then yes, they should get rid of it. But if they're going to regulate it to every gun shop and give a blue card out, then I have no problem with the blue card system. But if it's going to be give or take here and there, then it's useless.
I don't really know what blue cards are. If I understand it, they're the ones who can actually issue something like that. I mean, if everybody can issue blue cards,
Every gun store.
right? Every gun store can issue blue cards right now. Not everyone, right?
No, they don't let all gun stores hand out blue cards.
That's fine. I mean, as long as we can still issue blue cards, not everybody should do that. It's easier to control. A lot of times it is controlled.
So you're saying it's okay for the sheriff to pick and choose what stores to hand out blue cards? That's my question.
For the sheriff to pick it out.
I mean, I can give you several cases right now where they don't allow people to hand out blue cards, and they've never been convicted of a crime. They've always passed every court. I mean, it's a yes or no question. I'm sorry.
Actually, I hope you didn't mind because it educates me too, and that way I can understand it and become a better assemblyman if I ever faced it. So I would definitely like to learn more about it. Let's talk about it in private. I'll try to study what it's all about. Right now, my opinion is that we should be able to issue blue cards. As to who it is, I can't tell you that because I don't know what the regulations are.
Does anyone else on the panel have further questions? Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Tinio?
Yes,
So
sir.
you said, sure, why not let the university have a stadium, right? What would you do as an assemblyman to help the university get the stadium funded?
Okay. Where will the money come from? Again, I don't know the allocation of what we're doing right now with all the other funds out there. I need to understand that. Once I understand it, then we can figure out where it's being allocated. But I don't agree about the fact that the northern part of the state, for education, for example, the Nevada plan, Esmeralda County student is $17,000 a year, where Clark County gets $5,000. It's unfair. Why should UNR get more money than UNLV? I try to understand that and figure out why they're doing that. Once we figure out why they're doing it and it's wrong, then we need to force the issue that we need more funding in Southern Nevada. Because this is where a lot of the money is coming from to fund the state.
Do you have time?
Ms. Mosley?
Mr. Tinio, you actually bring up my question, and the question is to both of you. There is a great divide between Northern Nevada and Southern Nevada, almost to the point where it's two different states. If either of you are elected, what will you do to help close that divide?
Mr. Tinio, it's your turn to go first.
Okay. Do I care if I'm a one-termer? No. Do I care that I let people know what is really happening there? Yes, because people need to understand. Do I think we should come up with two different states, Northern Nevada and Southern Nevada? Maybe if it's necessary. Because why continue to fund the North if all that money is coming from the South? Do I believe in the buddy-buddy system? Heck, I did not get the endorsement of the party. And therefore, I do not owe anybody anything. If it needs to be done, if it needs to be said, I will definitely say it.
Mr. Mercer.
I'm running for District 9 Assembly, so I'm for Southern Nevada. I'm for helping District 9 out. That's why I'm not running for Northern Nevada Assembly.
Any other questions from the panel?
I just want to, I think that's part of the problem. We have Northern legislators and we have Southern, we are one state. One state, and the laws of the state affect everyone in the state. It doesn't just affect Southern Nevada or Northern Nevada. So as a legislature, will either of you work to close that divide so that Northern and Southern are working together, or are we going to continue to be two different states?
Hold on, Mr. Mercer, you get to go first.
Yes, I want to work together as an entire state, but as an assemblyman for District 9, it's my job to be the voice for District 9 to help District 9. But yes, I want to work together as a state. That's part of going up there, is working together as a state. You don't get anything done if you don't work together.
As an assemblyman representing District 9, I am a Nevada State Assemblyman, therefore it's the whole state. And I mentioned that the fact about, what I mentioned earlier is that there is a divide. There is no divide right now. There really isn't a divide. But this thing, what's happening right now, what I'm trying to say is, it's favoring the North because of the buddy-buddy system. The people in this, I firmly believe, what Marilyn Kirkpatrick, the speaker, is doing right now with the Southern Nevada Forum is good because it's trying to create more businesses for Southern Nevada, trying to figure out things that's good for Southern Nevada. But what's happening right now, if they want to do something and they're going to hurt the feelings of the North, then they don't pursue it. And it's not right. The Nevada plan has always been there since 1967. That's what it changed a long time ago. No, it's unfair to the South.
Any further questions from the panel? Gentlemen, I want to thank you for participating in the political process. Whoops, we have.
Did you ask the audience or?
Yeah, before we did it, but I'll open one last chance for the audience.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sir, if you step forward. State your name and your question.
My name is Tom Jones, and hello. My name is Tom Jones. I wanted to ask what is your opinion, and I'd like to ask both of them, on voter ID here in Nevada.
Mr. Tinio, it's your turn to go first.
Me?
Yes, please.
Voter ID? What's wrong with it? I mean, I'm looking through the list of people that are voting in my district. Some of them are saying, this person still voted and was born in 1926. How could I have gone to the polls? Am I sure that they were the ones who actually voted? Yes, I do agree that we should have voter IDs.
Thank you.
Mr. Mercer.
I don't have a problem with voter ID. Everybody, you need an ID if you live in the U.S. to do almost anything. I don't have a problem with showing your ID at the border.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for participating in the political previously declined.
I was just seeing if you were paying attention. Thank you for coming today, gentlemen, and allowing us to scrutinize you so publicly. I would like each of you to tell me whether or not you have, excuse me, my turn. If either one of you have ever heard of UN Agenda 21, Common Core, and ICLEI, and whether or not you support those.
This time it's Mr. Mercer's turn to go first.
Speaking a different language to me right now. I don't know what it is.
You have heard of the United Nations, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just checking. Thank
Mr.
you.
Tinio.
Mr. Tinio?
Were you speaking French to me recently?
And you may want to go home and study up on those. Again, UN Agenda 21.
Can I answer the question?
Common Core. I already asked you this question. And ICLEI. Thank you.
And I knew the answer. Okay, gentlemen, I'll try again. Thank you for participating in the political process, and good luck to you.